last couple comedians are way funnier than I am. I don't understand what that announcement was about. But I'd just like to start off, or continue the trend of dark humor, because I mean, I really love dark humor, because I find it comparable to food, because not everybody gets it. I now know who you are. But I got into the show business because my dad, when I was growing up, he was a magician. And he always really supported me doing, branching out, doing my own thing. And I mean, he was the greatest magician ever. Man, I'm so bad at this. I miss him. But for my 11th birthday, he decided to do this disappearing act. I still don't know how he did it. But no, don't worry. My dad actually didn't leave me when I was 11. He waited till I was 15. On the subject of children, man, I can see all of you getting nervous. But yeah, so I decided I never wanted to really do that to my kids, so I ended up getting a vasectomy. And I thought that getting a vasectomy would keep my wife from getting pregnant. Ends up, the baby just comes out a different color. I actually had another vasectomy joke, but I decided to cut it. So, a lot of people, who here has heard the saying, straight out of Compton? Yeah, I wonder if anybody's ever been gay out of Compton. That's stuff I think about in the shower. Oh yeah. So I'm really bad at memorizing things, so I pulled a Mulan. If you see me going like this, you know what I'm doing. I wrote my jokes on my arm. Yeah, I don't like my phone. But I started off doing dark humor in this group, and I kind of started branching out, and now I do mostly slapstick humor, and man, do all these sound like drugs. Hey, who wants to come out to the after show and do some one-liners? All right, so I got a question. I mean, I've talked a lot about relationships so far. Who here's single? Yeah, how many of you jerks are taken? Yeah. So some people, in my life, they say they're happily married. Me, I'm happily depressed. And I once thought, if I decided to fall in love with my depression, would it leave me too? So, if you're ever feeling unloved at all, or kind of down in the dumps for all you single people, just know that 1/3 of the hosts of heaven want your body. And for those of you who are feeling a little too prideful, remember they once settled for 2,000 pigs. Stay humble. Yeah, so I actually, I do have depression. I was diagnosed when I was a kid. And throughout my life, trying to learn how to, overcome that, live with it. I've gone through 3 therapists, actually, and that's really hard to say. 3 therapists, yeah. So my first therapist, he was an all right guy, but he left the profession 1 meeting in. Yeah, I had a lot of issues, and so I went to my second therapist, and he was all, rainbows and unicorns and all that bull crap, so he didn't help at all. And So when I was 16, I had this one therapist. His name was Dr. Wiggly. True story. And he died. And I got mad. I'm just like, are you kidding me? That was my idea. I'm gonna look like a copycat, you jerk. Freaking Dr. Wiggly. I can't even say it mad. So I went home last fall, and it was my off semester, and I'm actually ended up going home next semester as well. And my family, I'm from Tennessee, so, and obviously, I look like it, but my family and we all took up horseback riding. And for those of you who don't really know what it is, I mean, it's just kind of you get on a horse and you go down a trail, and you're kind of in a line of horses. And it's not terribly dangerous unless you get bucked off. This happened to me. And what's really dangerous about it is when your foot gets caught in the stirrup. This happened to me. So we're going down this trail. My horse gets spooked. It bucks me off. My foot's caught in the stirrup. I'm getting dragged along at 45 miles an hour, and I'm freaking out because I'm thinking I'm gonna die. And I was there for a good couple of football fields before the Walmart employee came out and unplugged it. My minimum wage working for me right there. Being colorblind really ruins a lot of things for you, like, the game of Twister, abstract art, racism. I just can't deal with it. But yeah, so one of my favorite things to do in this world is to put blind people up, down escalators. Think about it. It makes me chuckle every time. But yeah. So have you ever tried to give a blind person a high five? Yeah, they never see it coming. But I'm not all bad. I sometimes try and make it up to people and hold the door for them. I mean, it's the least I could do. And this one man, I was holding the door open for him, and as he passed me by, he looked, of Asian descent, and maybe Japanese, and, he walks by me and he goes, "Thank you," and he keeps walking. I was just really hoping he wasn't referring to Pearl Harbor. But I really like my sets to end like an old person's life, abruptly. Thank you.